Hi, my name is Sumal Karunanayake. I work for CA Technologies. I run application delivery and DevOps for Asia Pacific and Japan. Thank you for having me on your program. Today I'd like to talk to you about DevOps. There are two things. One is explain what DevOps is all about. And the second thing is to talk to you a little bit about a survey that we conducted across Asia Pacific and Japan, and in fact globally, and share some of those insights that we found within the survey. DevOps is a very hot topic today within the IT circles globally. What is it? A lot of people have different and varying understanding of what it actually means. So fundamentally, as the name suggests, it's a conduit of two functions within an IT organization. One is development and the other is operations. Historically, the two functions within the IT department have been working in mutually exclusive silos. As a result, when a business wants specified software, they go to the development function and they specify the software, and then development writes that software. Once they've written that software, they've tested it and it's fit for purpose, from a quality perspective and a specification perspective. They then pass that piece of software to operations, who then take that software and run and operate that software in a production environment. Why is it that there's been a heightened focus on getting the two functions together and collaborating? It's because when the software ultimately gets into a production environment, it's not always in a fit for purpose from a functional perspective as well as from a quality perspective. So over the years, and this was founded back in Europe about 10 years ago, where the functional teams from a development perspective and operations perspective, basically said, let's get together and collaborate earlier on in the cycle. Very much like a cricket team, for example, to put it in Indian terms. So if you have batsmen and bowlers, and batsmen just go off and do their job without any idea of a strategy for the game, the bowlers have no idea in terms of what to do. So before the game, they get together, they collaborate, they get a strategy and a match plan together. Very, very similar. Why is it important to CIOs today? CIOs are coming under more pressure, increasing pressure, to deliver higher quality applications, faster time to deliver those applications, as well as deliver those applications at much less cost than what they were used to. So by getting these two functions together and driving a DevOps strategy, the CIOs can actually achieve those three objectives. Talking about the survey now. So we did a survey globally across 1,300 senior IT decision makers. It was all about understanding, what people's perception was of DevOps, where they are from a maturity perspective in terms of implementing DevOps strategies, and what is actually driving them to push for a DevOps culture. Interestingly, 70% of the 1,300 respondents stated that they actually have either implemented or are about to implement a DevOps strategy. One of the key drivers for the reason for doing this are external facing. So a lot of them mentioned that customer experience, attaining a deeper, richer customer experience with their consumers. Driving revenue was also a critical business requirement, external facing. And also driving a deeper customer relationship with their customers as well. When you look at industries such as banking and finance, when you look at industries such as telecommunications, it's a volume customer base. And with the proliferation of mobile applications and content that needs to get to these users, organizations such as banks and telecommunications companies need to make sure that they are delivering regular and repeatable platform from a mobile application perspective, but also they need to be providing differentiated content as well. Because if their users and their customers don't feel that they're getting value from this ability to reach them, they will just go to the next provider. So churn is a big thing, and by putting in place a DevOps strategy, as the survey results validated, by putting in a DevOps strategy, you can actually gain competitive differentiation over your key competitors in the market.
Which are the main geographies implementing?
So, broadly across the world, if you could, split it into the Americas, Europe, and Asia Pacific. In Europe, it's quite advanced in terms of maturity and adoption, and in terms of the results that they're getting back from implementing DevOps. The US is also, gaining traction. Within Asia Pacific, it's quite interesting. There's broadly three sub areas within Asia Pacific. Australasia, which is more closer aligned with the US, I guess, in terms of maturity. Then you have Japan, and then you have the rest. Interestingly, India and China are very close. India and China are very high in terms of their intent to adopt DevOps. Their view on it is that you can drive efficiency through collaboration between development and operations, but we can do that through increased usage of technology such as automation and so on. From a CA technologies perspective, we like to think that we've got a leading position here from a DevOps perspective. Our view on DevOps is there are 4 C's of DevOps that we have. One is reduce the constraints when you are developing software. The second thing is make sure that you have continuous release capability so that companies can run simultaneous release cycles. The third thing is once you've actually developed your application and deployed it into a production environment, monitor that application, measure it and analyze it in a real world sense from a behavioral perspective, take that data and then bring that data collaboratively back into the software development lifecycle so that when you're next developing that application, the people that are doing the testing for that application can test it against real life behavioral data. That's our sort of view on DevOps. We have 3 core components. One is service virtualization. The other is continuous delivery and release automation. And the third thing is data mining, taking your production data and actually bringing it into a development cycle.
What will be your special focus area in year 2014?
Yep, so 2014 is going to be a critical year. Mobile applications are going to go one notch higher in terms of not just proliferation, but the focus now will come back to quality and the speed at which companies can then get content and applications into their customer bases, right? So everybody's talking about mobile, and it is absolutely one of the fastest growing segments in the market. However, the next phase of the maturity within mobility is okay. So we've got all of the devices out there. We've got the multi-screen consumption going on. Now, how do we get high quality focus going in terms of those applications that are being put onto these devices? As you know, with a lot of our mobile devices and app stores and what have you, when you download an application, it doesn't matter if it's a game or if it's a business app or if it's a productivity app. If it doesn't work the first time, you delete it and you go to the next one. So, that is a very good example of a heightened focus in 2014 on how can we get optimization on quality. Second thing is, how do we move away from a traditional application development model such as waterfall and aggressively embrace something like agile? When you embrace agile, you want to look at something like CA's service virtualization, which assists you to start developing applications on a simultaneous basis so that you can actually compress testing time to be able to output your application in under 50% time to market. So quality, time to market, and the other global macro issue objective is how can we drive all of this, increase productivity with significantly less budget that you have available. So in summary, talking about DevOps, there are 4 critical things with DevOps. Make sure that you have the skills within your business if you're about to embark on a DevOps strategy. Skills within your business that are not just technical nor just operational. It's critical to understand what skills you have that understand your business process, understand your business workflow and what's important to the business. So that's the key thing. Do a baseline exercise in skills. The next thing is that will allow you to provide, to do a gap analysis in terms of, okay, so do I am I satisfied with the level of skill that I have for a DevOps function to be created? Second thing is, do I then train the people I have, or do I go to market to find additional domain expertise? The third and very important thing that sort of closes the full loop in terms of a DevOps strategy is the technology and the tools around it. So it's people, process, skills assessment, and then technology through organizations such as CA. Good luck in 2014.